Aloha guys, today, obviously with the hat and the 5-gallon bucket of Aloha Shoyu, we're making something obviously with shoyu or soy sauce. We're gonna be making shoyu chicken. This is a very easy recipe. You can do it on a weeknight, weekend. It takes an hour to make at the most. Throw it together, everybody loves it. Sweet, salty, mwah, perfect. Let's get started. This only takes 1, 2, 3, 4, really 4 ingredients when you're making it the simple, basic way. Sambal, sesame, sugar, garlic, and ginger. That's it. That's the basic shoyu chicken recipe. I add a little bit of sesame and a little bit of chili, but you only need the 4 ingredients. Guys, whoa guys, I wanna talk to you about this cool hex-clad pan that my buddy PJ got me. He sent it to me for Christmas. He has a company called Patterson Precision Firearms, and he painted it for me, if you can see. We have the Italian flag in the middle with the palm trees. That's me, Italian flag in the middle with the palm trees on the outside. And he also did this really sick, like kind of cool star. I don't know. It reminds me of like the guys in Waikiki on the side of the shoe with the spray paint. They're like doing all that crazy stuff. That's what he did here. See that? Hex-clad. All right, so that's the pan that we're using today. We're using the hex-clad. All hex-clads are induction capable. So we're gonna put it on our induction burner. We're gonna crank this up to medium high so that we can sear our chicken. Yeah, I like this pan. But Gordon Ramsay hasn't sponsored me yet to talk good about it yet, so he's like their main guy, right? Shoyu chicken, there's obviously 2 main ingredients, shoyu and chicken. So we'll start with our chicken. Skin on chicken thighs, bone in chicken thighs. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dry it first. You don't have to do this part, you can skip it. You don't even have to sear it, guys. Like, I'm searing the skin to give it a little more flavor, but really we're gonna then boil it and shoyu so the skin's gonna get soggy again. So you could totally skip this part. Yeah, when I do this at home, I usually just throw the chicken in and put everything inside and just boil it. But I'm trying to be a little fancy for Aloha Shoyu here, so I'm showing you we're gonna sear it up a little bit, you know? Chicken is in the hex-clad. Look at that, no oil or anything in there, guys, and it's crisping up the skin all nice and stuff. Look at that. Thank you, PJ. I know you're watching this. Wow. Once the skin crisps up, we're not cooking the chicken, right? So once the skin crisps, then we'll add all of our ingredients. This will create the Maillard effect from caramelization. I know you guys all hear, every chef's always saying the Maillard effect, basically just pulling the sugars of the protein to the surface and caramelizing them to create that beautiful caramelized extra layer of flavor that we like. Good example is take your steak and boil it or throw it in the microwave and it'll be gray, right? Ugh. Take that steak, throw it on something hot, create the Maillard effect, caramelization, beautiful crust. Maillard effect explained in 10 seconds. You're welcome. My skin is looking good. Let me show you guys a piece. Nice and crispy. Getting some flavor on there. I'm gonna add about 2 teaspoons of sesame oil. You don't need a lot. Sesame oil is very, very strong. So really even a teaspoon will do, guys. A teaspoon of sesame oil here. The sesame oil and sambal, you don't have to add it. These are extra ingredients that I like to put in my shoyu chicken, but traditionally and most times we don't put it in there. Now we're gonna put maybe like a 1/4 cup of ginger. I would say about 6 garlic cloves, 6 to 8 garlic cloves. I love garlic, so I go excessive with it. And this is how easy this recipe is, guys. It's gonna be equal parts Aloha Shoyu, white sugar, and water. All equal parts. So we start with a cup of each, okay? We'll start with a cup of shoyu, the best shoyu to use, hands down. You might be asking, well, Ippy, why are you using Aloha Shoyu? Why don't you use Kikkoman? Why don't you use something else? Well, for real talk, Aloha Shoyu has been the soy sauce that I've always used since I was a little kid, and we always use it in my restaurant. We do have Kikkoman, we do have Club, we have the other stuff, but when I make teriyaki sauce, shoyu chicken, anything that's gonna have the sauce reducing at all, I always use Aloha. The reason is, for some reason, Aloha Shoyu is less salty. It works really, really well in sauces. So if you can get your hands on some Aloha Shoyu, you can check out their website. They're on Amazon, everything. Definitely check it out. Oh, don't get it on my Tory Richards. I seem to always spill on my Tory Richards in these videos. Corey Richards. Seem to always spill. Could use some new shirts. Okay, so I said equal parts. So a cup of shoyu, a cup of water. And a cup of sugar. Easy, right? Equal parts. I know you're looking like, oh gosh, get that diabetes. Well, just leave it to yourself. we're aggressive today. We'll turn this so everything can mix in here. And I want all that meat to be exposed. The sugar is necessary. I know it seems like a lot of sugar, guys, but I'm telling you, shoyu is very salty. Now, I'm gonna bring this up to a simmer. This is my other ingredient that I said I like to add. You don't have to add it, but I add a little bit of sambal. I'm gonna add about a little bit under a tablespoon. What you're gonna do is we're gonna bring it up to a boil, allow the sugar to melt, allow some of these, the garlic to cook in there and all the flavors to come together. Then we're gonna bring it down to simmer and let it simmer for maybe 45 minutes to an hour. The reason we're simmering it and you don't want it to continue boiling is if you start boiling it crazy, the skin rips off, everything gets, it doesn't look appealing. It's not as good as bringing it to a nice low simmer for about an hour. Welcome back to the cooking channel with Chef Ippy. I don't know if we actually took a break. This is probably just gonna be edited right into it, huh? Now we've had our shoyu chicken boiling for about 45 minutes. The way that I notice is the meat starts separating a little bit from the bone, and then you know that it's done, but you can also just rip one open to check if it's done. Once your chicken is done and cooked to your liking, take it out. This next step, it's not like mandatory, but it's necessary. I know that's a contradiction, but you'll see what I mean. We're gonna take all of this chicken out. We're gonna put it into our fancy imported Asian heirloom bowls, imported from Chinatown, Oahu, with shoyu chicken. I know I said it's like half an hour, 45-minute quick dish, hour dish to make, but the longer it sits in the sauce, the better it gets, right? The reason why is because the chicken is thick, right? So even when you simmer it for like an hour, it doesn't fully penetrate all the way through to the middle of the meat, right? Until it starts actually soaking and allowing the flavors to marry and come together. Now, what I like to do because of that is I like to thicken my sauce. I will take my shoyu chicken, I'll put it on the side, and then I will thicken the sauce. That creates a sauce that actually sticks to the chicken. So when you're eating it, when you're in the middle of that chicken, you have that sticky sauce. It just, to me, it makes a big difference in this dish. Take your chicken out. This is what we call a slurry, not a slurpee, a slurry, okay? A cornstarch slurry. So what I have was I've had about that much cornstarch. You cover it with water. In Chinese restaurants, in my restaurant, in a lot of places, this is what we use to thicken. This is like our #1 ingredient when it comes to thickening. Now, cornstarch is heat activated, which means that it'll only start thickening if your sauce is boiling or if your sauce is hot, right? I've had my cornstarch and then you have the water. I wash my hands, starts hardening in there. And once you break it up and once you kind of scrape it off the bottom, it melts right into the water. I know I got my whole hand in there. I'm sorry. This is like, not all cornstarches are created equally. I've noticed some brands of cornstarch, you need a lot more, some you need a lot less. So basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna make a slurry, mix it to make sure it's all mixed in there, like I said. Bring your sauce to a simmer and just add a little bit at a time. And you just kind of stir and add. And because it's hot, because it was already simmering, you're gonna see once it starts coming back to the simmer, it's gonna start thickening. A little bit less thick than gravy, but almost right to that point. You can already see it starting to thicken a little bit. And that's about perfect for me right there. Like I said, right under gravy, but still obviously thick enough to cling to that chicken. It's like roux. It's like when you make a roux with flour, right? We're gonna pour this right over our chicken. And there you have it. Some beautiful Aloha shoyu chicken. I always finish it with green onions. The green onions aren't just a garnish, just adds like a nice little bite, nice little freshness to it. Sesame seeds. There we have it, shoyu chicken. This dish, when I was growing up at the deli, we had a hotline where we had chili, beef stew, curry stew, shoyu chicken, saimin broth, and after school, I would walk to the restaurant, walk to the deli, walk to my family's restaurant, and I would grab one of these Chinese bowls, fill it up with rice, walk to the line. I would take the sauce from the shoyu chicken, put it all over my rice every single day. Like this sauce was smothering my rice every day. It's just no matter what I ate. I mean, I could be eating anything. I could be eating a burger and I'd still take some rice and put this sauce on. It was like, was and is one of my favorite things in the world. Let's rip off a piece so you guys can see what it looks like in there. Look at that. And you see what I mean about the sauce sticking to the meat? You have it's nice to make the sauce thick so that it sticks everywhere in there. That look good? I'll show you chicken. So good. Mahalo, aloha shoyu. I like the spice. Again, you don't have to add it in there, but I like that. Mahalo, aloha shoyu. You guys are amazing. Thank you for supplying us with all this product. Thank you for making such an amazing product. Mahalo, everybody, for watching Shoyu Chicken. A wrap. I'll see you guys next time.